Kia ora guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. Today we're starting the build of the rear bumper on the beater truck, and I'm wanting to do something that's really high clearance, really strong, and yeah, incorporates a quarter panel chop. So a quarter panel chop should come across somewhere along this line here. So I've got this original tow bar here, which I'm going to try and use bits of to help with mounting a really good strong base for the receiver hitch, because I want to incorporate a receiver hitch into this bumper. But the problem with it currently is that if I put it on, it hangs down like right down here. I want it tucked way up. So this bumper's not going to have any sort of like spare tyre carrier or anything like that. The spare's going inside and as far forward as I can get it, because again, weight forward's what I'm going for here. So yeah, we'll be keeping it simple, trying to make it look stylish, but function will be most important. So with that being said, let's pull apart this factory tow bar, see what sort of parts we can scavenge from it. I'm thinking I'll try and use the fact that it's pre-bent to my advantage. Sort of flip it, cut out the internal gusset and have it come up like this, so that the receiver can go in here.
But there's no comeback. If you let go, then please don't run back. 'Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. Yeah, that I got bigger fish at the fry. Like, who gon' take care of my family when I die? So they can't say I failed with knowing they never tried. Let's put our ego to side and tuck an eye in the pride. We force our past to collide, now we traveling worldwide. Some people think I'm fake 'cause I ain't never applied. That well is run dry. The people I used to confide in. Riding, but it was feelings that was hiding. We tried it. Now I'm thinking, wow, cause I thought that you were silent. Could have been making money, but you still
Tell you what, it never fails to amaze me just how long some tiny wee jobs can end up taking. This probably took me a good hour just to get that all marked out, cut and everything. I mean, it's pretty thick plate, but even so, an hour? I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna start into tearing brackets off the chassis now. This seam here I want vertical rather than horizontal, so I'll just go along and bend that down, and then this bracket here and that there, they both need to go. I had a bumper that I was borrowing on the back of the truck when I went to the coast last year, and long story short, the bumper was stronger than the chassis, and these mounts, as you can see, this one's actually completely ripped. They're pretty much useless and in the way, so I'm going to cut those off. I've also got this 65x65, I think 5 or 6 mil wall box, which we'll be using for the receiver hitch. Just happened to have it lying around. I was about to go buy some, thankfully found this, but the other option is I get the hitch cut and mounted first, which then gives us a bit of a base to build a frame off for the other tubes. Maybe do like one off each side of it, come up, and I don't know. So many options. So I've just quickly chopped this section of 32 nominal bore pipe down, and I'm thinking we'll put it something like that there, and then get our 40 and just plop that on top like so. So obviously that's way too high right now. But now that I've got that there, I can measure how much I need to cut this down so that we can get this sitting the same height as that, like so. So obviously lots got to come out of there, but it's easier to do your notch first and then trim out than trying to get your notch absolutely perfect. So there you go, all trimmed down now with just a piece of scrap 40 nominal bore sitting up top. That's a good idea of what we're going for. So guess next step's going to be clean up that little one and tack it in place, and then I'll work out my next move, I guess. It's 8 o'clock now, I've been here all day, really struggling for a bit of motivation to grab the bender out, because that'll be another good, I don't know, ages. Oh, I'm shattered. Let's do it. My idea is that the bar is going to come along. Once it clears the door, it then kicks up. So to get this kick up, I just need to work out what angle I want that kick to be. Way too tight for this. Right, onwards.
I've been trying to mediate, see the value in things before it all depreciate. I found myself protecting my mindset so I don't deviate. Then it start to pull me back, right in an egregious state. With these words I lead the way to lyrical heaven. Just me and my brethrens carrying this on our backs like Tim in '07. I'm calm like a setting till it set in that you could lose it all in the blink of a second. Flash of a minute, involved in an accident. The car started smoking while I was in it. Jumped out, felt the Holy Spirit. God whispers, you got something to live for, and it ain't nothing stopping you, cause lately it been too much fam in and out the hospital. Keep my head in the beats and show them that it's
Let's see, does the door open? The door? Oh man, heaps of space. Alright. Righto, well that seems like a good spot to leave it, so we'll pick this up in the morning. And start slinging some sides on and doing the quarter chop. I'm excited to get those big low-hanging quarters gone. Picking up from where we left off last night, I'm going to jump into, I think what I'll actually do first is end up pulling it all back apart and fully welding out the receiver hitch, now that I'm happy with where it's at, because it's just tacked right now. Once I've got that all fully welded out, then I'm going to press on and make up a couple more. I'm still deciding whether I do just a couple of little bars like off there and up, or if I do a bar that goes the full way across and then tapers up to meet. Obviously this looks nicer, but it's a lot more tube and weight. So, I don't know, I think I'll probably have to do the second option just so that I can tie into a couple more places. I'm not going to do it before the event which this is being built for, but ultimately I plan on utilising that point and a point up here to then like have a big reaction arm like that ties up into there, just so that we're not pulling off purely 2 bolts. For the event we're not really using rear recovery points, so it'll be perfectly fine, but that will be definitely something on my priority list to sort before I do any sort of major snatches or anything. Ooh, they spicy. So for any of you wondering how I do my notches, I just mark them out like so. Nothing fancy. Cut them and then start mocking them up for test fitting. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and just literally cut along my marks. And then if I grab a piece of the same diameter pipe, you can see even just that, it's already incredibly close. That side that looks even better. So literally all it is I measure down 1/3 of the pipe diameter, so for this like 12 or 13 mil, something like that. Then you want to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 in a like 90 degrees apart, and then from those lines you measure what would be a 1/12, so from here to here 1/3 of that. You go from there to there and from there to there. Hopefully that makes sense. As you can see, it leaves a flat point. And then from those marks you've made, as you can see, just draw a straight line down, straight line down. That's a really easy way if you don't have a pipe notcher. I actually have one, but I prefer to actually do it this way for the most part. I just need to learn how to get better with the pipe notcher if I'm honest, but anyway, hopefully you learnt something. And then with a bit of grinding, we have these bad boys. Next step, we're going to bend it. I've kind of changed my mind. Originally I was thinking I would just follow that angle down and then sweep round, but I just feel like it's going to look a bit funny there, so instead I'm going to go 45 down and across. Well, jump forwards a few minutes and we've got 2 correct length identical pipes. Look at just how well these two match up. Absolutely nailed it on the bending. So it just goes to show that if you take your time and do it right, ironically after I messed it up, but anyway, if you take your time, make the right measurements, you can do some very accurate replicatable bends for your cheaper fabrication at home. I'll leave a link in the description down below, seeing as everyone always asks me what bender it is. Yeah, much better. Right, I'm going to leave you guys be. I'm going to go notch this and I'll catch you once these are notched. 2 perfectly notched, well, close to perfectly notched pipes for the lowers. I've gone ahead, throwing it all together, it's all tacked. The next step is going to be grabbing some of these. They're shallow radius, schedule 40, like steam pipe, butt weld fitting thing. They're like $5 or $10, you can pick them up really cheap. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in about there, something like that. So the idea of that is it allows us to get a much tighter radius than you can get obviously with a pipe bender. So having chopped the excess off, it's now time to do what I've been wanting to do the entire time, and that is do the rear quarter panel chop. So if we come over here, you'll see there's obviously all of this material just flopping around, completely unnecessary. So we're going to cut it through along, well actually it's going to be cut at that seam line there. If you don't do this kick, you can kind of just run it around there and have the top of the cut along there, but I didn't like how it kind of came out right before, so that's what started the whole idea of having this swoop up. It is a beautiful morning today. The sun is out, which makes a really nice change, so I decided to pull the truck out into the yard, and I picked up another short length of 40 NB pipe. Matt had some lying around, so I just went and grabbed that from him. Save a trip to the steel yard, which was awesome, and I bought more welding gas. So we are ready to crank out this side tube. I kind of just went ahead and zoomed through as much as I could off camera because I was in a rush last night, and I wanted to use up as much of the tiny bit of remaining welding gas as possible before going and exchanging it. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and welded out the butt welds. They're not pretty, but they'll clean up. Same with the end piece of pipe, and then went and laid down some absolute mint welds on the rest of it. So yeah, really happy overall. I'm going to just quickly bolt that back on the truck, and then we'll start working out what we're going to do to match the other side for the quarter panel chop. Oh yes, that's what we like to see. Right, so after I sorted out the wee mess where Bunnings gave me argon instead of MIG gas, got it all swapped over, but a bit behind on time, so I just zoomed ahead. You've already seen it anyway, but just zoomed ahead and got that side tacked in place. Well, I do apologise for the abrupt halt. Unfortunately, this is where I managed to lose a bunch of footage from filming the bumper. And yeah, that's unfortunately it for the bumper build. But I do have a bit more footage of when I put the tank guard onto the back of the truck and did some bracing on the bumper. So from here, we'll jump forward to that. So I've made up these plates. It's just 10mm plate, which ties forward. And then I've made these little brackets here as well. So they just tie onto the jate ring mounts just there. We're going to chuck that on, and we've also got a nice new skid plate for the fuel tank from Anomaly, which we'll take a look at once this thing's on. Well, we've gone ahead and got the rear bumper on. Didn't go on too badly. Not too bad if you've got a couple extra hands to do it. So it's all back together. These lights, those indicators are just short term until I get some flush mounts mounted up. Anyway, final job for the rear end for today is going to be the Anomaly off-road skid plate. You guys may recognise the name before. They've done some work for me before in terms of they are the people that manufacture my winch tray kits, and they've also, I don't know if the video will have come out yet or not, but they've done some bead locks for this man here. So yeah, great company, and they use like a higher strength steel typically than just normal mild steel, meaning that they can manufacture out of thinner material as well to save a bit of weight. So this skid plate here is just a prototype, so we're doing a bit of a test fit. Fingers crossed it fits, and it means we can run it on our coast trip coming up next week. But yeah, thinner material to save a bit of weight. So this thing is like, I don't know. You want to give us a number, Flynn? Give it a lift. Like
7 or 8 kgs.
Like, it's pretty light. I don't know if you guys have, had much to do with them before, but I've had a Terra Firma one once, and it must have been 25 kilos, I reckon. It was a lot of weight, and especially on a disco with the big back end, it's just weight behind the back axle is a terrible spot to be putting weight. So the more you can, do to save weight, the better. So this is manufactured out of hard ox, so super strong and nice and light. Anyway, that's enough waffle. We're going to swap it out. At about middle. Is that bad to hold? We just better capture on video the sheer awesomeness. So we've just gone and slung this under full way around. Anyway, I'll set you back down. Alright.
Release that one.
I guess I can take this out. You got any black spray paint to make it into an impact socket? Well, that fitted up absolutely perfectly. A huge thanks to Carl over at Anomaly Off-Road for making that skid plate up. I've been nagging him to make one for a while. If you guys are interested in one for a Disco 2, they should be live on his website right now, so I'll leave a link down below. Go check it out and have a look at some of his other products while you're at it. The winch trays for the Disco 1s, they are live as well. And there we have it. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As you can see, it's probably a good, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months since I filmed the video building it. And in that time, the bumper has taken a hiding. It's done a fantastic job, as has the tank guard. Both of them have been abused over on the west coast. And yeah, it's all worked beautifully. So super happy with the outcome of the bumper. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. Don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of it. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. We've got a bit more fabrication coming, and then we are heading over to the coast and wheeling this thing hard. I've already been there and done that, and I can tell you, you're in for some cracker videos. So thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers guys, we'll see you then.